I'm getting money.
Welcome. Secure the bag, week 10. What it do?
What it do? What's going on, fam?
Nothing much, another day in paradise.
Yes, sir.
Happy to be back, of course, to make these NFL picks and secure some bags.
Oh, yeah.
And also happy to be back with the Slackers. You know what I'm saying? We already got Unk in the building with a very special message, too. Shout out to Unk. He says, to all those who have served, may you have a great Veterans Day. Never forget those we left behind in combat. That's a great way to start it off. It is Veterans Day, so we definitely do have to give a respect to all those who serve, including the families of those who serve, because they serve in their own way, too. So shout out to our veterans. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a good way to get things started today with a little bit of appreciation. So
happy Veterans Day to my Unk too. He is an actual veteran, so shout out to Unk. He did serve some time in the military as well. Long time in the military.
Don't say it like that. Don't say he served some time. No, I'm just playing.
You know what I'm saying? He did some time upstate. You know what I'm saying? Upstate.
He did his bid. No, I'm just playing. But no, that's what's up. I have several family members, including both of my grandfathers that serve. So very, very important. And like we said, this is a month to be thankful in general. We got Thanksgiving coming up. We do have the Hearts for Homeless event that Strizzy and I will be helping out at. So if you guys want to get involved with that or want to help out, definitely give us a shout out for that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be doing that in a couple weekends. So, all right. I think it's time to get it popping. I adjusted the thing a little bit, so we're going to stay here in this lower third, and hopefully this will work out. I think we should be good to go. Let's go ahead and get into our first little thing. We always like to start with our simple things for betting, like, simple guidelines for betting. You got the example.
Gotta let the newbies know, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You got the line, what the favorite team has to win by, and then the total, which is the sum of the total score for both teams. You choose the over, the under. And then we always like to talk about a different topic. So this week we're actually going to talk about hedging your bet. So, Strizzy, you know a little bit about hedging your bet, or do you partake?
No, I don't. But get into it, man. Let them know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a good one. This is actually a pretty cool one. It's kind of advanced and it's kind of weird thing to think about. But basically, what you're doing is you're placing a wager on the opposite side of an existing bet. So you're kind of like covering in case you lose.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, basically, players are hedging their bet to reduce like the original risk, and they're trying to set up a guaranteed win no matter what comes out of the game, right? So one example, usually this is used in futures where you have like high odds on something, and then you want to cover against it in case it doesn't work. So I have like kind of an example, and I'm hoping that we can follow along, but I'll try to explain it to you as simply as possible. But let's say we had $500 on the Braves, right? We'll use the World Series as this example. You bet the Braves at the beginning of the year, put $500 on it. It was 12-1 odds. So you're going to win like $6,000, okay, on the Braves. And you put that in the beginning of the year. Now, all of a sudden, the playoffs have begun. You're getting down to the World Series matchup, and you have the Braves and the Astros. So if the Braves win, you're going to win $6,000 on the Braves. What you might do to hedge, like you put $500 originally, you might want to cover that loss in case the Braves lose. So what you might do is you might find some lower odds on the Astros, like 2-1 or something like that. You put $500 on the Astros to win at 2-1. And basically what happens is if the Astros win, you win $1,000. You can cover your original $500 bet on the Braves, and then you get a little bit of profit as a consolation.
A little bit of a come up.
But that way you don't lose anything. But then the Braves go ahead and win. You got the $6,000 you had originally bet. You lost out, you take out that $500, but you're still up $5,500 basically.
Exactly.
And so that's the idea of hedging your bet. It's like if you have big odds on something, but you're just not sure it's going to follow through, but it's like such a big payday, you can risk a little bit of money to cover in case that loses. And it's like you're creating your own little consolation prize. You don't win as much on the original bet, but you don't lose anything. So
for sure,
that's the idea.
$500 gain is better than a $500 loss.
Exactly. So it's just like a little something that some advanced bettors will do to kind of protect their losses. And if you're in a situation like that, you can kind of set it up to where you're in a win-win. You know what I'm saying? Just how much will you win? So that's hedging. We don't really hedge a lot because we don't really do too much like future odds, and we don't do too many things where we have like these big stakes, but that's what the big gamblers will be doing. So you'll see a lot. People will ask, like, are they hedging their bets if there's a big parlay going on? So that's what hedging is. and we'll continue to bring like just little random things, as we go along. I did want to stop though. Unc brought up this, which was really good. I do want to stop real quick for a little bit of news. Cam Newton signed with the Panthers.
Sure.
So he's back where it all began for him after a year away, after kind of a not the best ending. So Strizzy, as a resident Panthers fan, how are you feeling about that?
I'm actually feeling really good, man. I can't remember who it was, but somebody had mentioned like when you bring up the Carolinas, you know what I mean, you think Cam Newton, you know what I mean? Like, it's you can say kind of like what you want about him as a player, but what he's done for the cities of the states of both North and South Carolina, dude, he does so much. He puts so much time and money, into helping the community and stuff like that. So great dude, honestly, in my opinion. I've followed his career as a player and a man since he got drafted to the Carolina Panthers. But in all honesty, I think the biggest thing that brings to him, we won't take too long because it's not our Tuesday show, but he's coming back to a lot of offensive players who have already played with him, who loves him, he's going to bring energy and a resurgence to the offense. You know what I mean? Like you could see it in the offensive players' eyes and their body language, dude. Like they're tired of Darnold, right? Like they don't want to play with it. Like you could just tell like they're frustrated. He's kind of lost to the locker room, honestly. So I think if Cam can come back and be even just a shell of himself, it's gonna boost this offense and the morale. And I think it's probably the best thing that they've done so far. They've made a lot of really bad decisions over the last season and a half. I think this is probably the best one they've done. So I obviously, as a Panther fan, I hope hopefully it changes things, man. I just hope it changes things in general.
Yeah, I think it should definitely give them a spark. But we'll find out if it's the best move that they've made so far. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, they can't really hurt, right? So
for sure.
I do think it'll be interesting to see how he plays the rest of the year and to see if he's really going to try to make a bid to go beyond this year or if they get a new quarterback. We're going to be watching that, very closely. So
for sure.
Other bit of news too, OBJ is finalizing to sign with the Rams. So to go out to LA, and Strizzy, actually, I got to give you credit. You called this one early. I'm a little skeptical on how it'll work sharing the ball around, but that does give them another like possession type receiver, big catch, big play type receiver to go along with, the guys that they have, the Woods and the Cooper Kupp and all the underneath stuff that they do. So we'll see. I kind of like it. I hope like as long as he can stay focused and he doesn't become a problem, which I think in just half the season, right? It's just the rest of this year,
right.
9-10 weeks left. He should be able to do that. And we'll see if they make a run. But like you've been talking about, the LA is going all in, man. They're Super Bowl or bust right now.
I actually really like it because the Browns are so run heavy, right? Like they're like first if not second run heavy team in the league. You know what I mean? So like a lot of their receivers don't really see a lot of action. You know what I mean? So I feel like going to a place like this, I think it could really help turn his career around. Or maybe just the last couple of seasons. You know what I mean? He's been really quiet, but Woods and Cooper Kupp, they're both kind of slot type guys, you know what I mean? So I really feel like he definitely gives them a little bit of an edge. If he could just be, again, same thing, a shell of himself from a couple years ago, like it's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, no, I agree, and we'll definitely be getting more opinions and input on this one. I definitely want to hear from Pops about Cam Newton and hear about from Super Producer about both of these. So we'll definitely be getting more input on that, and we'll go deeper on our Tuesday show. But for now, let's go ahead and get to these bags. Let's do a quick run through of last week, and then we'll get into our bags for this week before we get up out of here. So first one, Falcons covered for you. Not only they covered for you, they won that game outright, and I think you called that as an outright win too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I had a feeling they weren't going to lose to the Saints. No, they're playing well.
Yeah, I agree. Another one. Now this was a rough one. Big spread, and the Jags actually came out with the upset. This was a shocker, but I kind of saw. I was kind of with you on this one. I thought they were going to get blown out, so that's a tough loss to take right there.
Bro.
And then this one, we both had this one. The Chargers, they came through. Only won by 3, but they got the job
close.
done.
It was close.
They got the job done. So 2 bags last week. Great job on that. Let's switch over to mine real quick. Unfortunately, your Panthers did go down to the Patriots. I had to take that one. This one was another surprising upset. I mean, I guess it wasn't a surprising upset, but it's the way that the Cardinals beat them. The Cardinals were missing a lot of their players. San Francisco looked pretty healthy, and they got beat down good. So Cardinals are definitely a deep team. They're keeping their train rolling. Still only the one loss, and the one loss is arguably like they should have lost that game. they had
A mistake away from still being undefeated.
right, exactly. So shout out to the Cardinals doing their thing. And this one we talked about the Chargers. We did both
Yep.
take that one. So bag total for the season up to 16 for Strizzy, 12 for me. I'm gonna try to get it together. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to catch up a little bit. But I'm glad that we're both hitting on our bags. 2 out of 3 is great against the spread. So
Like, yeah, man. Exactly. That's the tough part, man. It's the spread. It's not straight up.
yeah.
It's not
Oh,
money
gotta
line.
gotta welcome Grace to the show real quick before we get into this week. Hey guys,
Hey,
happy Veterans Day.
what's up,
Thank you
Grace?
very much. And yes, special shout out to those who served and including Grace's family too. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what's up. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into this one. Strizzy, I want you to break down your 3 bags for this week.
Yeah, let's get it. All right. So the first bag, Atlanta Falcons plus 9.5 against the Cowboys. Cowboys struggled a little bit last week against the Denver Broncos.
A lot of it.
I definitely think they bounced back, but I feel like the last couple of times they played the Falcons have actually played them very well. You know, we talk about a stupid mistake from getting a dub. You know, last year I think they were a stupid onside kick away from beating. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
it was dumb. I still can't believe they messed that up. But I feel like they've played the Cowboys pretty good the last couple of times they played them. So I think the Cowboys still get the dub, but I think it's a little closer than 9.5. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um,
I agree with that. Like, especially like you said, this Cowboys struggled last week. I don't see them blowing out anybody crazy this week. They're just looking to get back on track, and the Falcons are a solid opponent. So
yeah, they've been weird, but you know they're still good.
for sure.
Yeah. All right, so this one, so I got the Patriots at -2 on this one. We got Chubb is out with the with COVID right now, so he looking like he's not going to play in this game. They did actually put the Bengals really good last week, but Chubb was a huge portion of that. I mean, he tore them up. You know what I mean? So they're missing their guy, and the Patriots you know, Bill Belichick schemes well for certain things. So even with the backup, how he played well against them when Chubb and Hunt were out the first time, I don't think that necessarily happens again against Bill Belichick and his defense. So I do think it's going to be close because the Browns aren't a bad team, but I think the Patriots are able to get this by at least a field goal at home.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the last time they're playing their 4th string running back Cleveland, and the last time that happened, they went off, but it wasn't against a team like the Patriots. That's for sure. So
Exactly.
I like that one, and 2 points is a close spread. I think they
It
should
is.
get
It
them by
is.
a field goal. So
Yep.
all right.
Yeah, so this game too is it's kind of a big spread actually. So looking at Buccaneers to win by at least 10. The Washington football team is just continuously struggling, and I think although the game might be somewhat close in the first half, eventually that offense is going to get going. And I think they start to really pull away in the second. That's kind of how the Bucs have been playing lately, anyway. You know what I mean? Kind of close, keeping it pretty good in the first half, not nothing bad. But then the second half comes around, they just start firing off. So.
Yeah.
Washington defense will be able to do a little bit. They've been kind of bad this year, but that second half, they're Bucks will make some adjustments, and I think they'll pull away in the end.
Yeah, I got you. I like that. I like actually all 3 of these picks. I think it might be one of those 3 for the trifecta.
We'll see, man. Hopefully. What you got?
All right, so I've got my first one. This is kind of an interesting one, but the Eagles and the Broncos plus 2.5. So the Eagles are an underdog against the Broncos. Broncos just came off of beating the Cowboys down bad. But what I like about this game for the Eagles is that the Eagles score a lot of points. And honestly, if the Cowboys offense was on track, it would have been more of a shootout
For sure.
against the Broncos. I think that the Eagles actually pull this game out, and I think that they will beat the Broncos.
Yeah.
The Eagles are just a sneaky team that not a lot of people are looking at right now, but with the running game and the way Jalen Hurts kind of complements the running game, they're actually kind of scary. So the record doesn't reflect it, but I do think that they will beat the Broncos this weekend.
I got them in
So
a parlay, so I'm with you.
yeah, that's my first one, and that's one of the only underdogs I like this week out of everybody. But
Yeah.
this is another one. The Packers by 3 against Seattle. So Russell Wilson should be returning. He's been cleared, but I don't know if he's actually going to play. And then Aaron Rodgers, I think he's going to be back as well for this game, and I think he's going to come back with a little bit of a vengeance. He's been a jerk about this situation. His name has been kind of dragged around, rightfully so, in my opinion.
Oh,
But
same.
he's the type of guy I feel like he's just going to come out and want to put together a big performance and kind of remind people why he's been around as long as he has. So I do see the Packers winning by at least 3 in this game, or more than 3 in this game.
And this is Wilson's first game back too since the finger surgery. So we'll see if he got a little bit of rust out there. So I'm with you on this one too.
Yeah. So then the other ones, this is another underdog I like. I don't know if the Raiders are going to win this game, but I see that this is like going to be like a last minute field goal type game, a
Mm-hmm.
1 point game maybe. I think this is going to be very, very close. The Raiders over the Chiefs. The Chiefs, the last couple of weeks, they've been riding the ship sort of, but I feel like their opponents have helped them with that. If
Yep.
it wasn't for them having the Giants and then followed by the Packers without Aaron Rodgers, I feel like, they would have been catching a loss in at least one of those last 2 games. So I still feel like they're not all the way there. And the Raiders, for whatever reason, have their number. Even when the Chiefs were only losing 2-3 games a year, it was
Yeah.
always the Raiders was beating them one of those games.
Yep.
So I like the Raiders. The Raiders have played very well at home. They are at home on this one. I am going with the Raiders as a little bit of an underdog there. So,
Man, so fun fact, so like we take the secure the bet stuff serious, you know what I'm saying? So, we looked into it, and the Chiefs like two biggest like handily losses are from the Chargers and also the Titans, right?
mhm.
And both of them blitzed the crap out of the Chiefs. The Raiders actually blitzed the most out of any other NFL team in the league. It's a division rivalry, and they looked at film on those 2 games because they beat the Chiefs up pretty bad. So I'm with
Yeah.
you on this one too. I've also got the Raiders are probably upset. Actually, I think they might actually win this game. I might pick them to win outright too.
See, that's that insider tip. You know what I'm saying? That's the insider knowledge, things to look at before the game to try to figure out where you're at.
Yep.
Great tip there on the blitzing. Yeah, they will be after him. So
Yeah, man, they blitz 38% of the time, man. So they're coming.
definitely. All right. So those are my 3. We'll go ahead and jump into our full week 10 schedule right now. And if you're in the comments, we appreciate just throw out some picks if you got them as we go. Let us know what who you like as your locks. Thursday night football tonight, we have the Baltimore Ravens at the Miami Dolphins. I'm going with the Ravens in this one, even though I want to pick the Dolphins. I just don't see a path to victory for them. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, I got the Ravens, man. Right now, Lamar is my favorite for MVP. He's playing just as well, if not better, than he did in his actual MVP season. So he's turning it up right now.
Yeah, no, I agree, and it's one of those things that people have been talking about lately. But it's like that where you kind of take people for granted because you compare them against themselves instead of everybody else. And
Yep.
like you said, he's playing better than he was in his MVP season, but he's getting no MVP love. So
No, for real, dude, it's crazy. It's wild. And he's like, it's funny, man. He's bringing his team back doing some crazy like down 20 type stuff, and they come back with a field goal.
right,
Wow.
yeah, so he's definitely been playing heroically. I think that they should get it done tonight
Yeah, me
for
too.
sure. Moving on to that Sunday morning window, we got Atlanta at Dallas. I'm going with Dallas at home on this one, but I kind of agree. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it'll be a closer game, but Dallas should win.
For sure. I think same thing. I think Dallas wins. I think they kind of right the offensive ship this week. Might even come down to kind of a shootout a little bit. Atlanta's offense has been rolling a little bit. Hopefully they get Calvin Ridley back. You know what I mean? Soon. But
Soon,
I
yeah.
think Dallas pulls this out.
No, I agree, and definitely thoughts with Calvin Ridley. He's going through some things, so
Yeah.
got to take care of yourself before you take care of anything else. So,
Exactly. 100%.
New Orleans Saints at Tennessee Titans. Who do you like in this one?
Tennessee, they're at home. The funny thing is, like you look at the offense and you can just tell, man, they're kind of hurting without Henry a little bit. Like he really does, determine what a lot of what they do in the offensive side of the ball. But I just Trevor Simeon's the quarterback. You know what I mean? Like I don't see them beating the Titans. And Titans actually have played a pretty good defensive ball the last 2 weeks. So I'm going Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm going with Tennessee as well, like reluctantly though. I think this could be an upset only because Tennessee's due for a letdown. They've had 3 tough games in a row
For
now.
real.
The
You're
Chiefs, the
right.
Colts, and then the Rams. And so it's like one of these they're gonna start losing, but at home, you know what I'm saying, with that
Yeah.
ferocious pass rush, I think that they will get it done. So I'm going Tennessee as well.
Yeah.
Next up, Jacksonville at Indianapolis.
I got Indianapolis, man. They're that I don't care for Carson Wentz very much, but that boy
Jonathan
Jonathan
Taylor.
Taylor, man, he has been killing it, bro. Like he's a monster right now. So I'm taking the Colts.
Yeah, I'm going with the Colts as well. I agree about Carson Wentz, and I agree about Taylor. Like he's gonna get the rushing title. Like that dude's a beast. They just keep running the ball to him, and they'll be all right.
I feel like Jacksonville won their Super Bowl last week. You know what I'm saying? With beating up the Rams. So I'm like, yeah, they probably getting smoked this week.
Yeah, beating up the Bills. Yeah.
Yeah, Bills. I'm sorry, yeah, Bills. Yeah, my bad.
Okay, next up, this is probably one of the better matchups of the week, and it could have playoff implications. We got the Cleveland Browns at the New England Patriots.
I got New England in this one. I got a close, but I think New England wins it.
I agree. I feel like Cleveland just is missing a little bit too much. And
Mhm.
they had their feel-good game after, OBJ left last week, but I don't see that continuing against New England. They'll be ready, and New England plays tough at home. It's just
Yeah,
a
they
tough
do.
defense.
Big time.
Next up, Buffalo at New York. I'm going with the Bills on this one. I feel like they're gonna try to, let out their frustrations from last week on New York.
For sure. Totally agree. I think they do the exact same thing. A lot of people are starting to question them a little bit after that loss to Jacksonville. So I think they kind of let loose on New York a little bit too.
Yeah. Next up, Detroit Lions at Pittsburgh Steelers.
I want to pick Detroit so bad, man. Like they're due, right? You know what I'm saying? Like
Right, right.
I just every time I do, they get smashed. Like it's not even close. Like they get murdered. You know what I mean? I think it's like a +8.5 spread, but I'm gonna go Pittsburgh, man. I don't think this is the week.
I know. I'm with you. I'm going Pittsburgh as well. I gotta get on the Lions. Like I want to be with them when they get their first win. You know what I'm
Me
saying?
too. Me
But
too.
I just don't see it this week, so I got to go with the Steelers. The last game of the morning, I know you mentioned this as one of your locks, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Washington football team. I'm going with Tampa Bay as well. I think it's just, they got too much.
For sure.
All right, moving on to the afternoon, we got Strizzy's Carolina Panthers at the Arizona Cardinals. We talked about it a little bit, but I think last week the Cardinals proved what a deep team they were and how kind of good they are all around. I'm
Yeah.
definitely going with the Cardinals in this one. I don't honestly know all their injury status, but after the way they played last week, I'm not even really tripping. So
For sure. I agree, man. I gotta until Carolina can write that offensive shit, like they're not beating anybody. So I'm definitely going with Arizona as well. Like you would never even know that Kyler Murray wasn't gone because Colt McCoy played so well last week.
right.
I mean, it's fun and it's they're due too because Carolina has literally destroyed them the last 3 times they played them. So Cardinals are just due to beat us eventually, and it's gonna be this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you, but I'm rooting for PJ Walker. I like that dude.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too.
I like him a lot. And then we'll maybe we'll see Cam Newton next week, for the
Yep.
Panthers, but not this week. So
Yeah.
all right, next up, Minnesota Vikings at Los Angeles Chargers. Uh I'll go on this one. I'm going to go with the Chargers, even though I want to pick Minnesota in this one. I'm really iffy. I think this is like a 50-50 game. I think this is kind of closer than it seems,
Yeah.
but I'm going with the Chargers because they're at home.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm with you on this one too, man. Like look, Chargers started off so sharp at the beginning of the season. They've been struggling a little bit the last couple of weeks. Even with the victory last week, it was really close by a field goal. I'm taking them too because they're at home, but Minnesota's chippy, bro. Like they're real chippy, man. Like I said, it's a coin flip. They could easily win this game if Chargers aren't careful.
No, I'm with you. So we'll see. That'll be a good one though. Just a little side note about Cook. There's some legal things coming on about him, but it looks like he's fully eligible to play and everything like that. So we'll talk more about that on the Tuesday shows as things progress, if they progress with him. But just a little small side note on that game.
Definitely.
Next up, Philadelphia Eagles at Denver Broncos. Like I was saying, I think the Eagles are going to win this game. I'm not exactly sure how, but I just think that they're going to figure out a way to get it done. But I'm interested to see what you have in this game.
Oh man, I'm agreeing with you too, man. I think Philadelphia actually does win this game. The same thing. I kind of feel like the Denver Broncos had their Super Bowl last week too. You know what I mean? And like you said, man, Philly, they find some way to just kind of either win or get really close, keep it close, and score points. Offensively, they're doing well and they're running the ball pretty well. So I'm taking Philly too.
All right, for sure. We're on that one. Okay. Seattle Seahawks at Green Bay Packers.
I got Green Bay in this one. Same kind of the same reasons you had mentioned too as your lock. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to come out and kind of play that kind of chip on his shoulder, kind of like to try to silence everybody. We're kind of dragging him through the mud a little bit, but hopefully it'll be a close shootout type game.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see Wilson play well, but at home, Green Bay, I see them getting this victory.
Yeah.
For the Sunday night football, Kansas City Chiefs at Las Vegas Raiders. I talked about it a little bit earlier. I am going with the Raiders in this game. I just think it's something about them being at home and the way Kansas City has been playing.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that'll be a fun one to watch, and that should be a good Sunday night football matchup.
Agreed. I'm also with the Raiders on this one. Even though Kansas City has gotten the dubs last week and the week before that against the Giants, they still haven't looked good. You know what I mean? Like they just haven't looked very good. And honestly, I hate to say it, but like Patrick Mahomes hasn't looked good. Like if everything else, like he hasn't looked very good. So it's not even just the defense these last couple of weeks. And Vegas is actually playing a little bit more rounded out. So I think they catch this dub too in a bit of an upset.
All right. So yeah, that's gonna be a good one, man. I don't know. But the funny thing is now, looking at the standings for the AFC West, Kansas City, Las Vegas, the Chargers, and the Broncos, they're all pretty much even. They're all like
Yeah.
either 5-4, 4-5, 4-4 type of situation. So definitely a lot to be settled still in that division.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last off, we have Monday Night Football, the Los Angeles Rams at the San Francisco 49ers. OBJ, their new signing, I doubt will play. If anything, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure he'll be chilling. But Von Miller, their previous new signing, he
Yeah.
will be out there active. Who do you got in this Monday night clash?
Rams, they got kind of embarrassed last week against the Titans, and I like to say, both teams coming off a loss, but I don't think San Francisco's got it. I think they're about to get beat up a little bit. It's a division game though, so it might actually be closer than we think. But I think the Rams are a little hot. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're gonna be trying to come out and start firing.
No, I agree with you. I'm with you too. I think the Rams are gonna want to prove who they are, prove that last week was just more of a fluke than anything, and
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna want to get back on track. The defense is gonna be nasty, and San Francisco, they're well coached, they're solid, but they just are missing something to get them like over the top. So I'm honestly wondering, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm honestly wondering, like, the way their season goes, like if Jimmy G, they're gonna pull the plug, sooner than later and let Lance just get out there and get going.
I
That's
think
what I want to really see for sure.
agree, man. So it's funny, like he had a really tough first game against the Arizona Cardinals, especially getting injured towards the end of it. You know what I mean? But I think Trey Lance is my favorite of this quarterback in this group. But he hasn't had the time to play and prove it, man. But I have a feeling he's going to be really, really good, man. So they, sooner or later might be time to pull the plug on Jimmy and let the man get his reps.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Last thing to touch on here, the bye weeks. Chicago, Cincinnati, New York, and Houston are on their bye weeks. So get your fantasy subs in there if you got to do that. And yeah, that's it for week 10. So I'm feeling pretty good about my picks. We'll see if I can make some headway. And but I don't know. I like your locks too. So it might be tough. It might be another even week, but that's all right as long as we're moving in the right direction. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. As long as we're making money, that's all that matters, baby.
For sure. So, all right then, fam. Let's see. Happy Veterans Day again. We appreciate everybody. We appreciate the time and the love. That was Secure the Bag week 10. We will be back on Tuesday at our 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It might be a new time for you if you're in a different time zone. So make sure you check out for that. And we're excited to see y'all back then. And of course, we'll be back for week 11, Secure the Bag next week to check on how these bags did and then to put our next bags in the oven. You know what I'm saying? Get it ready.
Sure.
So I do hope everybody has a safe and happy and healthy weekend. Strizzy, you have anything else you want to plug or to talk about before we jump off here?
Not really, man. Just want to make sure you guys get your picks in for the Pick'em League. You know what I mean? Yeah. You do have an extra hour going forward now. You know what I'm saying, to get it in there now. Games just pick it up at like 6 o'clock instead of 5 o'clock. So make sure you get your picks in. Never too late to sign up. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be there.
You got to hit up Bobby and get him in there because I think he said he was going to sign up, but I didn't see him jump in last week. So maybe it's still enough time. You know what I'm saying? So definitely got to get him involved. But yeah, that's what's up. And we are working on the the Hearts for Homeless Thanksgiving event on the 20th, and then we're probably going to be doing some sports activities on Thanksgiving if you're local in the Valley. We'll be doing something. A different type of turkey bowl for sure. So that should be tight. So lots of stuff to look forward to. As always, time is flying as always, but we appreciate y'all being here with us. And I think that'll make it official. It's your boy AW.
And your boy Strizzy.
Peace.